Yeah. So that's okay. So let's I want to talk to the next thing that I was going to get into, because with the whole like getting into, you know, a platform of like what foundations you should build off of, right? Like, so if somebody new is coming into the game, right, you know, you always hear like, oh, you should get clown, right? But like, if you know, you will, like, you're obviously you're a deeper thinker than that. So like, what would your game plan be if somebody like, you know, like you, right, coming into a game like the ball python game?
Starting, I see, that's a crazy question, because like starting from scratch, what do I do?
Right.
I'm looking at stuff like just myself. I'm looking at stuff that hasn't really been worked, that has like, you know, so clown. Let's talk about clown. Right. Clown is probably the best gene in ball pythons. It's the best recessive gene. It gives you the most pattern variation. There's the craziest combos, you know. But with that said, it's also the most worked gene. So that you've seen a lot of combos that have failed, not failed, but didn't do as well in clown. But because there's so many people working clown, you're bound to stumble upon some crazy interactions. And with those crazy interactions, you can then move forward. With genes that are not worked nearly in the same numbers. So for example, puzzle, tri-strike, sunset, monsoon, those type of genes, you know, obviously price plays a huge factor. But if you just take price right off the table and just say like, these are the genes that I want to work with, you know, puzzle, tri-strike, monsoon, sunset, all these genes, that the more people that get involved in it, the more you're going to see crazy stuff start to happen. And right. and so one of the things that I look at is like, you know, I look at genes that are not necessarily, especially recessive projects, that are not necessarily being worked like clown is. And don't get me wrong, I half my collection is clown. It's probably the best gene. I'll always work with clown. Right. But it's just one of the things that, like, you know, I look at puzzle and I go like, damn, this is a pattern changing gene. Yeah, we're able to influence the pattern with other genes. And that to me, it's just like, okay, it's not necessarily if, it's when you're going to stumble upon something crazy. And right. It's bound to happen. I mean, Ozzy's already starting to show us, like, he's running the super orange dream kind of side of things. And like some of the stuff, dude, this year, I'm just, fuck, super OD yellow belly puzzle. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't like that. Like, you put that in the hands of anybody, and that it's a crazy looking animal.
It really never seems to amaze me, like what Ozzy's coming out with, and bro, you know, even you, bro. Ridiculous. I mean, Justin, it's like, but like I said, I feel like the reason why that's happening, man, is because all the time that's been put in, man. Like, that's it. It just hasn't happened. It hasn't happened in 5 years. Like, that shit goes down deep, bro. Like, people don't really know that. Like, and it's really cool to like look up the projects that Will's doing and JKR is doing. But like, man, these are motherfucking projects these fools been invested in for years. And like, and it's cool to love what's hot, but like, that's the reason why I asked you that, is because I feel like people need to find the roots. Like, they need to find the ones that basically are going to be their stable for when it comes to breeding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the road. You know what I mean?
What is one of the things? The best thing to do is to pick something that you like. If you like it, you're always going to enjoy working with that gene. One of the things that I love about these, like, I shouldn't say like, I guess these newer recessive genes. Not that puzzle's new, but it's much newer than, let's say, clown. Clown's been around for shit since what, 2000, something like that. So almost twice the amount of time. So that gives you, you know, we have to look at where puzzle will be 10 years from now. What are the combos we've been able to make with it 10 years from now? That's when you start to you know, because building to this point just takes forever. It's just tons of breeding and tons of holdbacks and tons of, you know, I'm just really excited to see. I'm just excited to see the stuff that comes out this year. Like, it's just the thing that I like the most, I think, about puzzle is it's a lot of it's the unknown, you know, because so many people have worked clown combos. When I breed a specific clown, you know, they'll be insane clowns, but when I breed them together, I generally have a kind of an idea of what the combo should look like in my head. But with puzzle, because most of these combos have never been done, I I don't even know what to expect with some of these clutches. So the puzzle clutches, when they hatch, I'm always kind of like, what is this? Like, I have to let it come out, shed, compare it to other stuff that I've made. You're on your own in some of these cases. So, but that's exciting too, right?
What would you say a rule of thumb is, Will, from your experience, like really trying to ID something fresh out of the egg? Like how many sheds would you give it until you're really confident in what you're IDing?
Like 4.
Bro,
sometimes like breed it and then you'll know. But like, dude. Yeah, no, like that's one of the things. Like even in the egg, like I see some guys like, oh, this is a super orange dream fire yellow belly leopard pied in the egg. I'm like, bro, you see like this little patch of orange. Like, come on.
Okay, like guys, I'm excited. I'm a very excitable guy. Okay, and I was a fucking, Will's somebody, if he says like, yo, it's not what it is, and I'm like, all right, you need to calm down. Will's not gonna fucking cap on you like that. And I appreciate every time you've helped me out, Will, by the way.
Yeah.
But really, guys, I'm telling you, when you get that that combo that you're looking for and you really think you hit it, just trust me, give it a couple sheds, man. Just sometimes it's really not hypo.
Your excitement lies to you sometimes. Your excitement can lie to you. It's happened to me a bunch of times.
Because you're lying to yourself. You like,
we hit it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. But nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. And then it's just like, sometimes I've even like,
so funny.
Think you've hit like 5 of them. You're like, in the egg, you're like, how did I get this odds? Then they come out and they shed. You're like, oh, I didn't even get close to those odds.
Right.
And then sometimes you hatch something and you think like, I don't think it has, like, for example, I hatched some, they're fire yellow belly spot nose. And I thought they were just fire yellow belly spot nose. And then after about 6 or 7 sheds, and it's like 400 or 500 grams, I'm like, dude, that thing, if there's orange dream in the pairing, and I'm like, this thing's got to be orange dream. And I sent some photos off to some guys that are working similar stuff. They're like, dude, I think it is. And a lot of it's like, that comes down to IDing stuff. That's even hard, man. Like a lot of this stuff is theoretical IDs. Like we don't really, how do you guarantee anything really? Like outside of pied and clown and like the recessive genes, you should be able to guarantee. And like obviously there's certain genes. I can pretty well tell you any combo's got spider in it. But
right.
But you get into like, this is a super orange dream fire yellow belly versus like a high intensity OD yellow belly. Like it's like, or is it just super OD yellow belly? That stuff gets really, really difficult. And so I like to, when I'm selling you these type of animals, I like to say to the person who's buying, like, here's the pairing. Do you agree with my identification? What do you think it is? Let's talk about this, because like sometimes I'm in the dark too on some of this stuff. This is the pairing. What do you think it is? Here's what I think it is. Why do you think this is what it is? This is why I think it is what it is. And then once you have that conversation, look, if it doesn't prove yellow belly, man, I'm sorry, but like we had this discussion that you can't
be mad at me.
And dude, it's gonna get, people think that ID problem is a thing now, bro. This is just the beginning. Give it 5 years, man. Like look at Justin. He's doing the cracking, right? He's calling it something else, and he's like, if you ask him, like, what's in that snake? He's like, I don't really know. It looks insane. It's the craziest shit ever. But what is it? Well, here's the pairing. That's pretty much where we're at. I mean, Justin probably has a much better idea what's in it than anybody, right? But that's where we're going, and that's where it's going to head.
That's fucking funny. I want to ask the homie Adam's question, Beach Bum Exotics, because he's a homie and shit. So, but you want to go back real quick to the whole puzzles with Ozzy. But what do you think about the weirdo line of
that weirdo stuff? Yeah, man. So I don't know. I don't have any of it that I know of. I had the chaos stuff pop out of puzzle. It's definitely not the same thing. It's not the weirdo stuff. I've talked to Ozzy at great length with this. Mine, the chaos stuff certainly acts recessive, and the weirdo stuff doesn't seem to be a recessive gene. So it's like this, I don't know, but this puzzle just keeps throwing like these gifts that give back. I don't know what's coming out of this. Some of the stuff sometimes. The weirder stuff looks so cool. I almost bought one last year, but then I hummed and hawed about it, and by the time I called Ozzy, I was like, okay, I'll take it. He's like, it's gone, bros. So I'll end up with one eventually. I just need to get I'll probably bring it in as a male so I can just inject it into everything else.
Now, Will, we're talking about how, ID and shit's just going to get worse as we progress, right?
For sure.
What are some of the projects that you just don't look forward to IDing? Like, is there anything off the
top that I don't look forward to IDing?
I'm sure you're like, fuck, I want to see what's in that egg, but you're like, I don't know, like, I'm not looking forward to trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
Oh man, like most of the pied stuff for me.
Yeah,
yeah, bro. Like the pieds, like especially when you get into crazy pieds. Like you get it, like especially the super OD yellow belly fire leopard. Which
for real.
I don't know, man. It's like it's crazy looking. That's what I know. The pied stuff would be one of them. Some of the clown stuff is starting to get can be pretty challenging, especially when you get crazy, reactions with them.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Let's talk about this pied real quick, because you're right. Like, only you would really know what the fuck's in this pied, right?
It's not even mine.
Yeah,
that's here on a breeding room.
It's insane. So what's in this snake right here?
Just Orange Dream Yellow Belly or Orange Dream Gravel pied.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is
cool though. It's really bright.
Yeah, it's you can tell. How big is that thing?
Probably 1,400 grams.
All right.
So pretty good size, keeping its color really well. But yeah, it's IDing stuff, dude. It gets very difficult. Very difficult.
Now, have you switched your game plan when it comes to breeding first-time females, or you've always stuck to the same thing? Like, where have you evolved from? Like waiting, as far as waiting a certain weight to pair.
It's not. I don't think it's a weight thing. I think it's knowing your animals, knowing knowing what's going on. This, if I have a female that was, I know every snake in the collection, so I feed them every week and clean them every week, water them every week. So I know what snakes are pounding food, what snakes are not. I